welcome to The Explainer. Okay, today we're unpacking a massive, high-stakes corporate feud over AI hardware, and exactly how this Silicon Valley drama is going to directly impact the price tag of your next everyday gadget.
So what exactly ties a bitter Silicon Valley lawsuit to a literally record-breaking $129 billion investment? And, more importantly, what does all of that have to do with the laptop sitting right there on your desk? Well, we're going to connect those exact dots by tracing a massive economic ripple effect happening across the globe right now, as of today, July 12th, 2026.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1. The AI hardware war begins. Apple versus OpenAI.
Over 400. That is the staggering number of former hardware and chip design experts that Apple is officially accusing OpenAI of systematically poaching in a blockbuster federal lawsuit. Now, this isn't just, your everyday talent acquisition. It's a massive, aggressive brain drain of deeply specialized knowledge from the world's most profitable hardware company. They aren't just taking employees, right? They're taking the actual blueprints to the future. We're looking at a real clash of titans here. On one side, you have Apple, obviously a company with unquestioned global dominance in consumer electronics. And on the flip side, OpenAI, the absolute king of generative software, who has now been completely exposed for having these highly guarded, secretive physical device ambitions. This high-stakes trade secret battle threatens to totally cripple OpenAI's hardware dreams before they even get off the ground, all while putting this immense strain on the already pretty fragile software partnership between these two tech giants. The battle lines are drawn, and they are literally drawn in silicon.
Moving on to Section 2, the $129 billion chip race and funding the physical AI boom.
Now, to understand the current global bottleneck, it really all boils down to one thing: high bandwidth memory, or HBM. This stuff is highly specialized semiconductor technology, and it's basically the lifeblood of massive AI data centers. It's the critical physical component required to process the incredibly complex computing tasks that generative AI demands. So suddenly, every single major tech company is absolutely desperate to hoard it to train their models. And the harsh reality is, there just isn't enough of it to go around.
And that sheer desperation, it comes with a completely unprecedented price tag. $129 billion. The frantic demand for these specific semiconductors has kicked off a record-breaking capital spending cycle. Tech giants are pouring billions into the ground just to keep pace with the industry's massive infrastructure needs. It's totally a gold rush, but, instead of pickaxes, they're building fabrication plants.
So where is all that cash actually going? Well, we have to look at the world's top 3 memory chip makers. You've got Samsung Electronics and SK Hynix, who are just aggressively scaling up their physical fabrication plants all over the globe, absolutely desperate to expand HBM capacity and break through these severe global supply caps. Meanwhile, Micron Technology is rapidly expanding its own manufacturing footprint just to meet the projected demand surges. They are locked in a dead heat, racing against a supply constraint that industry analysts warn will tightly choke the market for years to come. Nobody wants to be the one left standing when the music stops.
Which brings us to Section 3, Consumer Electronics Price Shock, paying the AI premium.
Here's the situation. AI is quite literally eating the global memory supply. Those massive bulk purchases required for corporate AI data centers, they're completely drying up the exact same memory chips that would normally end up in your everyday gadgets. When big tech buys in bulk, the consumer market completely starves.
And the fallout is hitting store shelves right now. We're seeing smartphones becoming significantly more expensive, and gaming consoles are getting hit with real retail price hikes because manufacturer margins are shrinking so incredibly fast. But honestly, the craziest tactic of all is shrinkflation for tech. Manufacturers are secretly downgrading hardware specs, like the baseline memory capacity in new laptops, just to offset their own soaring component costs. To survive this massive squeeze, they're making a ruthless choice. You're either paying a higher retail price up front, or you're just quietly getting a lot less machine for your money.
Finally, let's look at Section 4, future-proofing the workforce, upgrading human hardware.
Meanwhile, over in Asia, governments are taking this massive tech shift incredibly seriously. Just look at Hong Kong's financial secretary, Paul Chan. He's currently pushing for what he calls accelerated local AI training blueprints for young professionals. He is actively outlining a very comprehensive public-private roadmap designed specifically to shield local graduates from these brutal, rapid changes in workforce demands. They recognize that physical hardware isn't the only thing that desperately needs an upgrade.
Through their newly expanded Upskill Hong Kong initiative, they're essentially building this chronological defense strategy. Step 1 starts right at the ground level, in primary schools, embedding foundational AI literacy as early as possible. From there, Step 2 naturally expands into tertiary systems, heavily integrating tech blueprints throughout higher education. And all of this leads to Step 3, directly shielding and preparing graduates for the new economy and its changing workforce demands. They are basically rewiring their entire educational pipeline from the bottom up to withstand the global AI shift.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one absolutely critical, provocative thought. As AI furiously consumes our physical resources across the globe, are we upgrading our hardware faster than we're upgrading ourselves? It's a pretty sobering thought about the true hidden costs of our global AI obsession. Thank you so much for joining me to connect these dots today, and seriously, keep a very close eye on your tech receipts.